Hey guys, this is Alex and I'm with GamersForChange, a movement created to decrease the amount of hostility within the gaming community. And after a long time, I'm finally here with Hot Talk 3, and the reason it took so long is because I ran into some troubles finding a person to do Thought Talk 3 with because everyone just kept dropping or was too busy to do it. So I decided to just get Tyler to do it with me so I could crank this out right now. And Tyler is actually here today with an update concerning the Gamers for Change forum, which I'm sure you guys will like because it'll help you guys get more involved in what we do. So why don't you just tell about that, Tyler?
Yeah, as he said, I created the forum because we needed a place for people to get involved, and I figured what better a forum to get people involved than Gamers for Change. But one of the main areas we have there is a topic section for suggestions of what we should talk about. And of course, in order for it to post there, you need to be signed up. So if you aren't signed up there, please do. And we'll have a link to that in the video description below. But yeah, if you want to tell us what you want to hear, please do go over there and suggest something.
Okay, so the topic for this video is something that has cropped up a lot around YouTube, and I felt that it was our obligation to address it because, yeah, it's actually one of the most common criticisms of Halo Reach, which is it's just like Call of Duty, so it's terrible. So our topic for today is Halo Reach actually like Call of Duty? So Tyler, what do you think?
Well, a lot of people tend to think that they are the same because of the loadouts or the classes, and I don't see how that's even possible. You know, considering that you have Halo Reach just gives you a default set of weapons. You tend to have the same thing like Team Slayer on sword base. You get assault rifle, pistol, same thing. Your grenades are the same, your weapons are the same, but except you have sprint, armor lock, jetpack, invisibility, maybe evade or something like that. Whereas Call of Duty, you pick your weapons, you pick your perks, so to speak, kind of like armor abilities, and you can have anything from snipers, shotguns, rocket launchers, assault rifles, SMGs, LMGs, anything you want to have, and it can vary a ton depending if you're playing Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, between the different games, so their perks and whatnot, and I just don't see how that's the same at all. People tend to say that, oh, Halo and Call of Duty, they have the same, no, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, classes is one of the main things that people bring up to try to equate Halo Reach and Call of Duty, and even though they're somewhat similar, like you pointed out, the classes are still not exactly the same because in Call of Duty you can choose your weapons, and in Halo Reach you can't. And I don't really see how this is a very strong point because, like, number one, the classes are not exactly the same like you mentioned before, and the class customization idea has actually been around for a long time, and it's not like Call of Duty is defined by their class customization. Like, one of the main things that separates Halo from Call of Duty is power weapon control, and the reason why it's a lot more important in Halo is because since you don't get to choose what weapon you start off with, you have to control certain weapons that are placed on the map for you. And because you can't pick up the special weapons in Call of Duty due to this class system, there's really no way to assert dominance through skillful weapon control. And this is one of the defining aspects of Halo because it adds to its incredible three-dimensionality by increasing the depth of the map control within the game. So yeah, again, just because Halo Reach now has classes, it doesn't mean that it's a Call of Duty game at all. It just means that it's a shooter and it happens to have some semblance of Call of Duty classes.
Yeah, and I think another major difference is going to be the things like shield system versus Call of Duty's. I guess the only thing similar is a Halo SWAT versus Call of Duty in general. And the main thing is that you have to place, at least figure if you're playing Halo 3, 4 shots on a player in order to kill him, or do a 4 shot, or even Halo Reach, put 4 or 5 shots on him to take them down. Versus Call of Duty, you should have more pure reflexes than anything to take somebody down. It only takes maybe a few shots from whatever weapon you may be using, depending on your range and whatnot, and if you depending on your perks. But that in itself is quite different than Halo Reach is.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that separates Halo from all the other multiplayer first-person shooters is the shield system, which Call of Duty doesn't have. And for me, this is actually the core of Halo's multiplayer. And how this differentiates Halo from Call of Duty is that it forces you to do a lot more work for your kills. So there's a lot more emphasis on follow through. You can't just like land a couple of shots and he's dead. You have to land a couple of well placed shots, and you have to land a lot more well placed shots in succession. And it doesn't really matter like how many noobs a good player has to go through. He will consistently outplay each one because each fight will start on an even playing field due to the shields of the survivor regenerating after each fight. So similar to how the shield system is the core of Halo, I think COD's realism is its core. And if kills didn't just take like 4 to 5 bullets from your average gun, COD would not be COD, because in real life nobody can survive like 4 to 5 high caliber rounds to the stomach or whatever. So yeah, if anything, Halo Reach is the least like COD of all the Halo games because kills take so much longer than they did in the rest of the Halo series.
Yeah, and I guess on the same note, people tend to compare Call of Duty and Halo for some reason, that one's better than the other when they're both totally different games in the fact that I put Call of Duty in a realism first-person shooter category and Halo in a sci-fi shooter category, where you're playing in 2552 versus Call of Duty somewhere in modern times. I mean, I don't see how you put the two together, especially like you said with the shield system versus just straight up just if you were to put on body armor. I mean, that's pretty much all you have. And people tend to go, "Oh, it's the same." Oh, no, it's not. They're clearly different.
Yeah, and then another thing that I want to address is the bloom, because the bloom is another similarity that people bring up to try to equate the two. And like similar to the classes, I don't think the bloom is a big enough similarity to equate the two, because again, similar to classes, the concept of weapon bloom has been around for quite a while, and Halo 1 actually had weapon bloom, and I don't see anybody saying that Halo 1 is the equivalent of like Call of Duty. And yeah, bloom has just been around for a while, so Halo Reach having bloom just means that it's a shooter with bloom, doesn't mean that it's Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Conclusion, Tyler and I both agree that while Halo Reach does have some similarities to Call of Duty, just as long as it doesn't become like SWAT, then Halo Reach is still a Halo game, and it is not remotely a COD game. And I think that this is just a really silly criticism to bring up of the game, and it only just widens the divide between Call of Duty and Halo.
Well, I guess I'd like to plug in a little bit for our forum again. Like I said before, I created the forum for people to get involved in Gamers4Change and just have a place where a lot of cool people hang out and get together and play. I mean, any game really. Unfortunately, it seems to be a lot of Gamers4Change is centered around Halo and first-person shooter, but even so, nonetheless, a link to our forum will be in the description. It's gamersforchange.freeforums.org. And I'd really advise you to go take a look at it and at least sign up and post a few times and just to check it out, whatnot, and give it a chance. So anyway, yeah, that's all I have for that.
Okay, so again, post your thoughts about the topic in the comment section or use a video response, and I will do my best to choose one of these comments or video responses and have the creator do the next thought talk with me. And we'll see you guys next time.